Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Woolly Thistle Shopcast. I'm your host Corinne and this is my co-host Maggie, and we run the Woolly Thistle, which is an online yarn store specializing in yarns from the UK and Europe, which is very topical at the moment. But we also have a physical location, and so we're in our showroom recording now, and yes, it's a delightful place. It looks like it needs a lot of filling up, Maggie.
It does.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, good. So yeah, we're here to share our wares and what we're knitting on and all that good stuff. A little bit of housekeeping first. This is going to be a very full episode with us, and we've got segments from Caitlin, Renee, and we've got a postcard from Farrell, which is always something I look forward to. We are no longer running ads on our channel, so you shouldn't be interrupted by any ads. We just ask that you support the Woolly Thistle by telling a friend, subscribing to our channel, coming to the store and shopping is always great. So we would rather put that request out there than bother you with ads, which are always annoying. Let's see what else. Pips. We've got a pip program, which is our loyalty program where you earn pips with every purchase, and you got to remember to come back and spend them too. It's lovely to get some money off your order.
It's basically free yarn.
It's free yarn. Yeah, just take a moment. That is a good thing. So also we have free shipping within the US for $99 or more, and if less than $99, the shipping rate is $4.95, and that is current. So Maggie, tell us about your weekend, or tell us about something that you got up to that was fun and knitting.
Our weekend was pretty busy. Yesterday, so Saturday was filled with all kinds of errands and chores, and because Sunday we were gone all day participating in a charity cribbage tournament.
That is the best.
Which was delightful. My son, so we played in pairs. My son actually drove from school over. It took us almost, because it's on the other side of the state. So it took us about an hour and 45 minutes to get there, and it took him about at least an hour and a half to get there as well. Yeah. But he was excited to. He met us there last year.
So this was like the state.
No, it's just a small local charity. It's done to raise money for scholarships in memory of a gentleman who passed away. Aww. And so it's just a really great sort of like small community event. And my brother-in-law puts it together. He's on the board that puts it together. And they invited us last year. And it was really nice. And so Sam and I were partners, and we came in 8th out of 44 people, which
that's really good.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Like we were not going to. We just go to play and have fun. And
yeah.
Last year, I think we were like in the middle of the pack, like the 20s, and this time we were surprised that we were. We're like, oh. So that was just really. It was fun. More than anything, we got some decent cards. And so it was just a nice way to spend the Sunday, kind of all together, and then we went out to dinner. And so it was
nice.
Just really nice.
So nice. Well, I will say that on Saturday, we'll put a picture here. I was with Jill from customer service, my daughter Maya, and Susan, who is a lovely customer, and my friend Amber, my very good friend Amber, who the OG of you will remember from years and years ago. We were all there in Hanover. I know that Lynn was down in Concord. Lynn is one of our picker packers. And so we had our signs going. So that was really fun. It was a fun time, even though it poured on us, but you know, it was good. And when I got home and had a very hot shower, it felt amazing. Yeah. Yes. So good weekend all around. So what are you wearing, Maggie?
I'm wearing, this is an oldie but a goodie. This is a Kate Davies pattern. Put my clasps together. This is the Hirne cardigan. I knit mine in Rauma Strikkegarn. It has this beautiful twisted stitch detail at the top. This is from her Sark collection, which I still want to knit more from that, but there's so
Yeah.
much to knit. So
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
just gotta pace yourself.
I know. This is definitely a favorite, isn't it?
It is. It gets worn a lot. It's wearing really well. You can see I haven't de-pilled it or anything. There's just no
Gorgeous.
little to no pilling.
Gorgeous.
It's just a really great workhorse yarn.
Yeah.
If you've not knit with Strikkegarn yet, it feels quite twisty in the skein, and then it just relaxes when
What do
you
you mean
wash
it feels twisty? Does it kink?
No, I don't think it kinks at all. It feels like you can feel that the
ply.
plying has a bit of high twist to it.
Yeah.
It's a 3-ply. It just feels really round
Yeah.
and robust. But when you wash it, it just relaxes.
Any yarn by Rauma is wonderful. I do like their DK white here.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, but they're all good.
They're all good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And coming in lots of
I
colors.
didn't bring my Thivel sweater because it's not changed very much.
Okay.
I hit a point with my knitting where for some of you who've been watching, you may remember that I had a bit of a cast on party at the beginning of the year, and I hit a point this weekend where I was like, I need to finish something. So that's what I worked on.
Stay tuned for Renee's segment
Yes.
because she has quite a
There's a
cast on
kindred
parade.
spirit there.
Yes, fun and great. Well, that's good. So
Yeah.
I am really leaning into the old and the reliable. So I'm just in my vanilla sweater in Rauma Finullgarn in, I can't remember, 4129 probably is the color.
I think it's 4125.
4125, thank you. And I've put on my prototype wristlets, which I ended up making a pattern with the tam for the dolly mixtures. So these are not exactly like the ones that are in the pattern because I needed to make some adjustments.
Yeah.
But I think that's the whole point of these is that you can make them fraternal and mix them up and do what you want. And yeah. So I'm feeling wrapped in wool and comforted by that.
It's still quite chilly here in New
It is.
Hampshire.
It was actually, aren't they calling for some snow today?
Yeah, yesterday wasn't bad, but today that was going to dip a little bit.
Yeah.
Potential snow.
It's so confusing. I saw a couple of ants in my near my sink in my kitchen yesterday, and I'm like, geez, the sun came out for like a split second and we've got ants. What gives? So
I think too, like when it's this wet, they gotta go somewhere.
Yeah. So
not great.
All right,
so how about your knitting?
Okay, so again, leaning into the simplicity, I am knitting on my shawl, which is delightful. It's all garter stitch. It's all about the ruffle shawl, which you can see here. And it's this ruffle that I really am looking forward to, but I'm thoroughly enjoying just knitting garter stitch with a couple of increases every other row. And I'm through the first skein. This is going to be a 3 skein project.
And how are you enjoying knitting with, this is Scottish Yarn Festival.
I love it.
4-ply.
4-ply. I love it. It's lovely. It's got a little bit of fluffiness to it. It's definitely soft. And it's very, very nice. And I love this color. This is Duncan. And it actually, it will go with a lot of stuff. And it's my pop of color. So, yeah, I'm really enjoying it. And I do like this spine.
Can I squish it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah. And then where's the spine?
Wonderful.
So it's got this nice, very simple spine detail going up the middle there.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it is wonderful. I'll be sad when I reach the end of my garter stitch portion, but
then you'll be onto the fun
I'll be onto the ruffle, yeah. So I have not knit.
You can always knit another one.
I have not knit at all on my cardigan because it's just been all about the garter
the needle.
stitch.
I think your stitches might pop off.
Oh yeah, I should have these stitched. Oh, God almighty. I should have stitch stoppers on these. Oh, shout out to a lovely customer that came to Knit Night this week. I forget your name, I'm sorry. But she brought me 2 little corgis. Tiny little corgis. They're too, the holes are too big for, actually, no, the holes were too big for the sock project I was knitting on.
Gotcha.
Otherwise I would have them here.
Yeah.
But they're at home. Yes, just lovely. Thank you for that.
So cute.
Yeah. All right, what are you knitting on?
Well, I did finish. I finally finished my Estel socks. Like literally last night at like 10:30. But done. I even Kitchenered the toes and woven the ends. So
Virginia will be happy to see
so
these.
the pattern is by Virginia Sattler-Reimer. As she noted when I shared a photo, I may have gone rogue a little bit on my heel. But
what'd you do?
I just did my heel. You know how it is like when you're I couldn't be bothered once I got past a certain point to read
to read the pattern anymore.
And I was like, I know how I like my heel, so I just did my heel. So Virginia's might be like slightly different. So,
yeah, but that is the nice thing about sock patterns.
And I think I worked this part of the heel a little shorter, but I'm a little shorter, so
it works.
But I love it. So I used our Rambler yarn. This is the Aster colorway,
which is
with the
beautiful.
Natural. They still need blocking.
Wow.
I will get that done.
I love that she's mixing cables with color work.
Yeah, it's really wonderful. I think that second sock, I finally got the hang of counting the rows between the cables. Like this one, they're a little bit more uneven.
I find that challenging.
Yeah. So you'll if you look really close, like you can see the cables just a bit more even there than it is here. There's a gap.
Elongated.
So, yeah. So, but they're really beautiful. I really like them.
Oh yeah, and that color's so sweet.
Yeah, it's just gorgeous.
Nice on your feet.
And then, so I finished those, and I've made great, so we are in the middle of our shawl cow. I think, did you say that?
I did not say that. We are we in the middle of it?
We're not in the middle.
It just
we're
started.
Like a week. By the time you see this, we're like 2 weeks in.
Yeah. I do think if you're knitting along in the shawl cowl, Jill wants to do a mid shawl cowl Zoom call with Renee and herself. So be on the lookout for that announcement. Because that was not originally planned.
So I'm knitting from the Shetland Trader 3 book. The patterns I think are now on Ravelry. I'm knitting the Terra shawl
for the shawl cowl.
Gorgeous. And I have made a lot of progress.
Oh my goodness! Did you have to stitch cast on?
Yes, you cast on over 300 stitches.
Holy moly!
Actually, over 350 stitches, and I had to do it twice because
I
did. That's okay. You can laugh. I'm all tangled.
What the heck?
Here. I know.
Is this lace weight?
I'm on a cone. No, but I'm on a cone, and sometimes I think the cone, because of the oil still in it,
feels.
It's a bit more compact. But
this
it's
is
not
beautiful.
So the thing I did that's a little different that Gudrun doesn't have you do is I started with a row of what'll be my main color.
Hers doesn't.
Hers doesn't. So that's just. I wanted to see how that would look. And then I went back and forth on it. I'm like, I like it. I don't like it. I like it. I don't like it.
This would be amazingly nice bunting for the shop, Maggie.
Yeah. Well, you can't have it.
Or it goes with me. Yeah. Okay, fine.
I could totally see. You only really need one ball of each of the contrast colors. And
beautiful.
It's just, they're really addictive. I have other colors already set aside to potentially do a second.
Would you say this lace pattern is quite easy?
Yeah, like for me, once I got past the setup row, like that first row, it was like, don't
Pay
talk to me.
attention.
Because, God forbid you get all the way to the end and realize, oh, I'm off.
You did not use stitch markers, but you could.
Yeah, I didn't use stitch markers, especially once you have the repeat going.
Yeah.
Visually, it was really easy to follow.
Yes, exactly.
Especially with this spine here, you would notice if you get to the spine and it's not lined up.
So your spine ends up being your stitch marker, sort of to tell you where you should be. It's beautiful, Maggie. I do love these colors.
And now I think the rest will go actually really fast. Now there's no more color changing, and
so just zoom.
Yeah, it'll really just zoom along.
Oh, lovely.
So
I think some other people are knitting this too.
Yeah, I've been seeing this lately. So I was inspired by Anne of Caprine Cottage. She's knit 2 or 3 of these.
Oh gosh,
I don't remember. They're all really lovely. Can't talk.
Lovely.
And then Walgren Knits, you had mentioned.
Oh yes, that's right. She has one all in natural colors.
Yeah, she has one. And so I think it's having a bit of a moment.
This needs to jump on the needles over here too. I really like that.
It's really, really pretty.
Yeah.
So I think I'll be probably knitting a couple more. I could see too for like some of those single balls, if you bought a grab bag and you're not quite sure, single balls, that'd be great if you have enough of a main color.
I really like your colors, your choice of colors too, and your pop with that sort of orangey brown. Yeah, I had picked like six different colors, and I'm like, oh, I only need 4. That's
so I had to. It was like a Sophie's choice. Which ones? So I think the other 2 will just become another shawl.
Yeah. Good.
So yes, it's quite potato chippy, fun knitting.
Yeah.
So I'll finish that and then I'll get back to my sweater.
That sounds good. Any other knitting? I don't have any other knitting to show.
No, that's it. I have lots of things I want to cast on. This is a good time to lead to Renee. She has not resisted the urge to cast on.
That's a good point.
I have been currently holding myself from casting on because I feel like I need to finish something before I get I'm using different needles for my Terra shawl because the other needles
are in another project.
Gotcha. And I didn't feel like taking from
No,
them.
because
if
there's a lot of
I'm
stitches
really
on
bad.
it.
If I take the needles out of a project,
You're
I
not
just might not ever
remember. Yeah.
And I know I could take notes, but I just don't.
I know. It's like the yarn harlot once said that, you know, you just put something down to go make a cup of tea, and 2 years later you come back to it and you don't know where you are and you're kind of surprised.
Yeah.
So yeah, life happens.
Yeah.
Why don't we do that? Why don't we go to Renee, because her segment is great and it will give you all the feels to cast on different things.
Hello everyone, my name is Renee. I'm an email specialist here at the Woolly Thistle. I'm coming to you from Ohio. It's a little chilly here today, but with the Shetland release of their Wool Week hat pattern, I was reminiscent of Shetland and I wanted to try to wear some sweaters one last time. So this is my Heritage Yoke sweater, and I made this out of Jamieson and Smith. I had a cone, and I just used some of my singles from one of my grab bags to make the yoke. It came from this book, the Grand Shetland Adventure Knits. And here is the designer's original. We do have kits in the designer's original colors at the Woolly Thistle. Like I said, I just put my own colorways together. I feel like this is springy. It's got some purple in there. This is like a deep plum, some pink. So anyway, I'm thinking of Shetland today. So I wonder how many of you are going to be making the hat as well. I'm not going to Shetland Wool Week this year, but I can still pretend and have fun with them. Some of the things that I've been working on, I have a lot of whips going on right now, and that's usually not my intention, but it does depend on where I am, what I can do sometimes. So I did manage to finish a pair of socks on a boat last week. This is the Woolly Mammoth yarn that came from our 12-month of cheer box. So I have enough yarn to at least make one more pair of socks just like this. This was the large in this sock project book. I did the striped socks and just went with every 5 rows I changed colors. So Summerlee has some amazing patterns in here, and I learned a lot. I've made a ton of socks through my knitting career too, and I learned a lot from knitting these socks. So I highly recommend that book. I got the book because Maggie talked about it, and anyway, I really like it. But one of the other things that I started doing from that book is her German short row heel sock. I wanted just a simple basic sock, and she has different patterns for basic socks. So you can start them cuff down, you can start them toe up, you can change the way you do the heels, and it's just very interesting. But this is a German short row heel, and I really like the way that looks. And honestly, I feel like it's one of my favorite heels that I've ever done. There was not a lot of counting involved. I don't have to keep track of my rows. Once you get started, she just tells you how to do it, and you do it till it's done. And I like that. I don't want to keep track on a Post-it note and tick and stuff like that. But anyway, this is just some stash yarn that I had. I'm making a little pair of shorty socks for my granddaughter. But so another thing that I was working on, and I think I showed this last time, I'm not finished with it yet. It's I'm using Rambler and Bijay Bouche. This is the color Blue Spruce, and this is the color dark turquoise, dark blue turquoise. And I mixed them together to make one of the sweaters from Knits to Wear. It's called Simple Things. Simple Things. And I just love Veronica Lindbergh. She's got some really cute patterns. They're just easy to style. I feel like they're very just elegant and beautiful, but you can also wear jeans with them. And so anyway, I've been working on that a little bit here and there. It looks really big, but this is a drop sleeve, and she had a lot of ease built into this sweater, so it will come down here for sure. It's kind of curled up a little bit. But Rambler and Bijay Bouche feels amazing. I know that the Woolly Thistle has the Love Note sweater with the same combination. I actually made that sample, and that's kind of what made me think about putting these two together for just a nice, simple, elegant sweater that I can wear really all year round. If you go in and out of air conditioning, sometimes I like to wear a sweater, or at least have one with me. But I had to take the needles off because I needed them for another project that I'll be talking about. So Andrea Mallory came out with a new pattern. I was just minding my own business doing those things. And then Andrea Mallory comes out with something, the DRK Everyday Cardi. And I really like Andrea Mallory's patterns as well. They're simple, they're easy to understand. She's just got a very clean flow with her designs. So I thought, you know what? She uses a sport weight yarn. We have Mountain Meadow wool at Woolly Thistle. We have their Cody. She used the tweed, but it's the exact same thing. Then let's see, another thing that I would use would be maybe Wool Dreamers Cautiva. I think that would be an excellent yarn to use. I had picked up this All Centrum 2-ply when it was on sale, I think in November or December. But anyway, I'm making this out of this and just love that color. It's a very lightweight yarn. All Centrum doesn't say if it's woolen spun or worsted spun. Caitlin seemed to think it might have been semi-worsted, but it's a very lightweight yarn. It'll be a very nice cardi. The thing about this cardi is you can have it with the knit side out or the purl side out. And when you have that purl side out, you can kind of see those ridges there. So you'll want a woolen spun yarn that's going to pop. So I think this looks nice. I'm going to have the purl side out when I get done with it, but I had to stop working on it. I haven't worked too much on it in the last couple of weeks. But yes, I would use Mountain Meadow wool or the Cautiva. I think that would be a really pretty yarn and sweater to make. So Corinne is, you probably have seen this in the Facebook group, but she had made her little Flowers of Fort Rose mittens and the hat, and now she is making the vest. She's been doing it for a while, and so when she came out with the call for testers, I had to apply to see if I could make this cute little, I just love this so much. This is the violet colorway, and yes, we're going to be having kids. I am actually trying to help make some videos for a course, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm making this right now, and I'm about just a couple inches into it, so I have a lot of work to do. But we will be working on this weekend and see how far we can get. So another thing happened. Veronica Lindberg is also another one of my favorite designers, and she came out with the test of this sweater. It's called the Juice Sweater, and I had the perfect yarn for it. I had this in my stash. This is Bijay Bouche. This is their medium green gray or medium gray green. I don't know which one. I don't know, but I'm like, this is perfect. So I am using some Spindrift that I got, Jameson of Shetland Spindrift. I actually got it in a cone when I was in Shetland. So I am making a juice sweater as a test. I'm sure I'm allowed to show it. I'm just not allowed to show all of it. Isn't that just the greatest color? I love green. It's one of my favorite colors. And there's that silk mohair, man, it feels so good. I really like it. One thing though that I've noticed when I'm using the silk mohair, my metal needles slip and slide too much, so I do use my wooden needles. These are the Luca needles. I really like using these when I have some slippery yarns. So I know the shawl cowl is going on, and I did work on my Halagarth shawl a little bit. I've just been kind of busy with other things, but this is Gudrun Johnston's Finullgarn shawl, and I'm making mine to look like Corinne. She had made hers out of the color Trillium in Rambler, and it's just a beautiful red. I do have it here somewhere. It's just a beautiful red color, and it's going to look so nice. And I have my needles on it again, and I have been working on it here and there. But I started this last year at the Shawl Cow, so sometimes I am team slow knit. It's just so pretty. So anyway, happy knitting, Thistlers, and I hope you have a great day.
Thank you, Renee. Love that. Hang in there with all your knitting. I wanted to show this because your swatch is for this colorway of the Fortrose vest. This one's teeny tiny. I knit it for Maya, or Maggie could fit in this. And these are Maggie. You chose these colors. They're not necessarily colors that you gravitate to, which just shows what a genius she is. They're not
I do have a lot of purple on my needles, though.
I do love these colors. I had to knit this. In fact, I think I knit the mittens in this too. Anyway, I forget. So anyway, this is coming along. It's in testing right now. Renee is one of our testers, and we are enjoying that, and we'll have that pattern out really soon, I think. It's coming along. So thank you, Renee. Enjoyed your segment.
She's just a real sort of force. I love it.
I know she is. Team Fastnet, that one. Yes, so no pressure.
Yeah, no, it's good. Whatever team you're on, it's a good team.
Absolutely. Team Slow is wonderful too. You know what? It's just love your knitting.
Yeah.
Love your knitting.
I think too, like, I'm inspired by all the stuff that Renee gets done. It's not a competition.
No.
So,
and she would say that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's delightful. Keep sharing. I love it.
Maggie, should we announce a winner?
We should announce a winner.
Because we didn't yet.
Our first winner of a $25 gift card to the Woolly Thistle is at Olya Mike SH2096.
Congratulations.
And Olya Mike says, I have always been tempted to participate in one of your knit-alongs, but never took the plunge. This shawl along won me over. I am in. Yay! We're so glad that you're in. Olya Mike, if you can email us at info@thewoollythistle.com, put prize winner in all caps, we will get you your $25 gift card.
Certainly will. And for the rest of you, if you would like to be in the running, all you need to do is leave a comment down below, click the subscribe button, and there's something else. Leave a comment, click the subscribe button, and
subscribe?
No. Click the subscribe button and give us a thumbs up.
There you go.
I've said that so many times. I can't believe I forgot it. Yeah. So yes, do those three things. I always remember there's three things. So comment, subscribe, and click the button, please. Thank you.
You always remember except for this one time.
Yes, this one time. So do that, and you will be automatically in the running to be picked next episode. We pick at random. Yep. So thank you for that. Well, we're talking about the Shawl Cow, and thank you for knitting along with us, Olya Mike. Did I say that right?
Olya Mike.
Olya Mike.
Yes.
We do have the Shawl Cow going on right now. We've shown you our whips, and we have prizes for this. So if you're knitting along with us,
I want to say too, if you are interested in the Shawl Cow but you haven't yet signed up, it's not too late. Go sign up.
Sign up and join in.
There are plenty of shawls that whip up really fast.
Yeah.
And even if you don't quite finish, that's okay.
Yeah.
But you can still sign up if you are interested in joining.
Thank you, Maggie. That's a very good point. It's not too late yet. We're only a couple of weeks in. Okay, but we do have prizes for those of you who do finish and submit an FO picture at the end, and I wanted to just mention those. We've got the All About the Ruffle kit, which includes 3 skeins of Scottish Yarn Festival 4-ply, TWT stitch marker, and a tote. And the pattern donated by the lovely designer Carolyn Holbrook. So that is our first prize, a nice big bundle to knit what I'm knitting on, and you get to choose your color, I'm sure. Second prize is a $50 gift card to the Woolly Thistle, which you get to splurge on whatever you want. And third prize is a skein of Mountain Meadow Cody yarn to each of 3 winners. So we'll have 3 third prize winners. We have additional very generously offered gifts as well, or prizes. Eva of the Scottish Yarn Festival has donated 3 skeins of the Scottish Yarn DK white. to go with the pattern, the Fulla Shawl. So we have a Fulla Shawl set, which is 3 skeins of DK plus the pattern. The pattern is designed by Sarah R, who is at My Cup of Knitting. So that is a prize. Thank you for that, ladies. And Sarah is also offering a free pattern download to 3 prize winners. Yep. That's at My Cup of Knitting again. And Carolyn Holbrook, sorry Carolyn, I'm having trouble getting over that today. 1 shawl pattern prize to 2 winners. Yep. So thank you for those lovely prizes that you guys have offered.
And you can find Carolyn Holbrook on Instagram as @woollyneedle.
Thank you. It wasn't written.
Oh, there it is. 2 L's in woolly.
2 L's in woolly, the British way. Thank you, Carolyn. Yes. Okay, so test knitting for Flowers of Fortrose is underway. We talked about that, but thank you so much to our test knitters who are working their way through the pattern, knitting feverishly, which I love. And hopefully we'll be ready to launch this as kits. It's in Jameson and Smith 2-ply early in May. Or this is a great use for your grab bag too. Maybe you just need your base color and you can use your grab bag, that kind of thing. It uses 4 colors plus the main.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 colors plus the main.
So
okay,
5.
So 5 colors. Yes. Okay, so what else do we have to talk about here, Maggie?
We have lots of new things that have landed in the shop that are really interesting.
Okay.
We have some books that have launched.
Okay, let's have a lookie.
Let's move mine. Soothing Stitches from Lina. This is released now and our copies have arrived. There's a gorgeous shawl there on the front.
Great name.
Lots of, yes, Soothing Stitches. I mean, like,
I haven't had a chance to look through this, and I also just smelled fresh print, and it's amazing.
I know, it is. There's a lot of just really beautiful, classic knits in this book.
Lots of texture, looks like.
Yeah, this looks fun. Lots of marling. So yeah, that is available in the shop now.
Lovely. Lina just keeps hitting it out of the park, don't they?
They do.
Good stuff. Beautiful.
Temptation
really like
dropping every week from them.
I know.
It's what it feels like anyway.
We got that.
And then this beautiful book arrived last week as well.
I know.
Stitch in Time 3, which is all color work from Susan Crawford. And check out this vest
beautiful. Love
really,
that.
really great.
So this is the same size and dimensions of her other 2 books, and it's
and
a lot of beautiful patterns in here.
It is just really full. This book has 25 patterns in it.
Which makes it huge.
Inspired by classic vintage patterns that Susan has reworked for a modern fit.
And the way she does that is she goes to, you know, the museums on Shetland, and she literally sits there and counts stitches and see how things were decreased or increased or what have you. Beautiful. Yeah, very exciting to have this big book, another big book from Susan.
Yeah, so
with lovely designs,
some interesting reading and beautiful patterns.
Yeah,
so that is available now.
Yep.
What else? Currently on pre-order is a Let's Crochet from Lina.
Hooray.
We can put a few photos here.
Yeah.
This has so many great patterns in it.
Wow.
Ruth and I were chatting. I'm quite excited.
Ruth, our resident crocheter.
Yeah, I'm quite excited about it too. There's a couple of like really cute looking vests in there that I might have to dust my hooks off.
That sounds good.
Yeah, they're just really beautiful.
And what's that one called?
That one's called Let's Crochet.
Okay.
And it is designed, I think, to entice knitters to give crochet
give it a go.
A full hearty
yeah.
I don't know what to call it. Embrace? I don't know.
Cast on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is available for pre-order now. The Shetland Woolly Cat.
Oh my gosh. They launched that. What day was that? Thursday or Friday? I think it was Thursday.
It was April 2nd.
Wednesday?
I know that it was April 2nd that they announced the hat. It is...
it's great. It's designed by a member of the, where's my notes?
The Guild?
Yeah. The Guild of Knitting, Weaving, Dyeing and Spinners up there on Shetland.
I think it's called the All-Or Touri.
It's the All-Ur, so all over.
That's what she said.
I say it like I know. I'm not from Shetland, but fairly Scottish.
So the Shetland Woolly Cat has arrived. Oh, I can't hold all. It's 8 colors this year.
Maggie's tiny hands.
I'm just dropping things all over. So this is the oh yeah, that's good. You hold those. This is the JNS colorway, all the colors. They're
Pretty
so
and spring-like.
Yeah. It's just really, really pretty. And we can put a couple photos here. The crown the whole thing is beautiful, but the crown always gets me.
Yes.
And this one has a stunner of a crown.
Yeah.
And
lovely.
so we do have kits currently available for, at least at time of recording, for the JNS colorway. And we've also put together we at the shop have put together a couple colorways for the in JNS alternatives.
Yeah.
To just so that you can play and have fun.
Yeah.
So and then the Jamesons of Shetland Spindrift colorway is on pre-order. It's in transit, so by the time you're seeing this, they could be shipping.
Yes.
So, and those are also really pretty. I think that colorway is called Vintage.
Okay.
It's just really lovely.
All of this is in the shop, so you can go look right away by clicking on the link down below.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the all over hat pattern is a really nice one. I think they've taken inspiration from vintage motifs and given it a little update, which is always fun.
Yeah.
And so
and you can get the pattern available directly from Shetland Wool Week. There is a small fee for it, but that helps support everything that they do. So it's very much worth the fee.
Yes. All right. So these are selling well already. I did see that. So we had pretty good stock. Luckily, we never know until they drop it what the heck it uses.
It's really a bit of a gamble every single time. If we are out of any of the colorways that you are interested in, you can sign up on the website. There's a notify me button. You can just put your email in and it will notify you.
Yes.
We'll let you know as soon as they're back in stock.
Yeah.
And if you need any help picking alternative colors, just shoot us an email.
Yeah, happy to help.
The Woolly Thistle. I know we did get an email last week from somebody who was saying that they listened to Kelsey's color card or color wheel advice and they had fun putting together their own colors.
Excellent.
So yeah, I mean, give it a go. And
yeah, I mean, 8 colors, you never know. Your grab bag might give you many of them because you won't need more than a ball.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, good. That's exciting and fun. And we're so happy that Shetland Wool Week is starting to do their thing. It's always fun and exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, I always, there are a number of hats. I think I've only knit the Boosta Beanie. But there are a number, I've been wanting to knit the Crofters for years. And the Katie's cap,
I knit the Croft Hoose, and I've knit a couple other ones I can't remember now. But yeah, they're good. They're good.
So I think this is a good time to be knitting all the Shetland Wool Week hats.
It is. We still have more to talk about, and we've got a new thing launching as well. So we can't wait to talk to you about that. But I'm wondering if we should go and check in with Caitlin, who is talking about a beautiful sweater she's knitting in Mancha-Lopez, and it's really, really lovely. Yeah. So let's go to her, and then we'll see you on the other side.
Hi everyone, it's Caitlin and I'm glad to be back with you on another Shopcast today. I have a couple of updates on what I've been working on here. I'm coming to you remotely from Indianapolis. I'm part of the Woolly Thistle team, mostly working on social media and engagement with designers and other businesses. And also really love knitting, so I have some stuff to show. I have a sweater that I'm working on, and then also a shawl project that I'm working on sort of in conjunction with our shawl knit along that's going on. Like I said, I'm in Indianapolis where it is warm today, so I don't have any wool on, but I will show you what I've been working on. I hate to say, I almost hope there's another cold day or two so I get a chance to wear this before next fall, but this is my sweater project. I shared either plans for this or maybe the very beginnings of it on a previous Shopcast, and I'm well on my way to finishing the body. This is the High Peak sweater by Liv Ulven, and I'm using Wool Dreamers Mancha-Lopez for this project. It's the yarn that's called for in the pattern, though I've changed the colors. It's the unspun yarn from Wool Dreamers. It's about a sport or DK weight when you knit it up, and it comes with 2 strands coming off the plate just like this. I think you can separate it and just knit with one if you want more of a fingering weight. This is the ocean blue color. That's the main color I'm using. Then I've got over here the bottle green and the natural white are the contrast colors. So yeah, it's on a barber cord right now because I wanted to block it where it's at right now. I was feeling a little nervous about the fit. I wanted to encourage you, if you didn't catch our last episode 250, where Kelsey talks about sweater fit. I had already started my sweater when I watched her segment, and I feel like she had some wisdom for me that I maybe could have benefited from. It would have saved me a little bit of worry in the midst of this project. And it was the worry that led me to take it off the needle, put it on the barber cord, and block it. I am happy to say that it's looking good despite my worries. And I wanted to just talk you through a little bit of what I was worried about and sort of the process of this sweater. So it is, yeah, the Manchalope is an unspun yarn. I've not worked with this kind of yarn before, and it's been just a little bit of an experience because it's so different. And I wouldn't say it's been a bad experience. It's just, it's different. So I'm going to insert a little video here. I took some footage of me while I was knitting the 3 colors. And I just wanted you to see sort of what my setup was like and what it looked like for at least my way of knitting with 3 colors at a time. You can see most of the color work here. As soon as you join in the white here, you're working all 3 colors. You've got the ocean blue and the green and the white. Ocean blue, green, ocean blue, white. And that continues all the way down to here when you end the white again. So it's been a while since I did a 3 color work project where you're using all 3 in a row. And then with the unspun yarn, it just took a little bit of figuring to get a system that worked for me. What I found worked well is to have all 3 of my plates on the floor and kind of free of each other so that the yarn could pull off from the outside of the plate fairly easily while I was working. I would kind of tug gently on all 3 of them once in a while to unwind a little bit from the plate so that I wasn't accidentally having some tension while trying to work those 3 colors. I knit with the yarn held in my left hand. When I'm doing 2 colors, I put the strands in between 2 different fingers. And now with 3, I actually had an extra finger that I could put the yarn in between. So I had all 3 in my hand at once. It got a little bit tangly once in a while. You'll actually see a tiny bit of that. The yarn wants to grip onto itself, and especially being unspun when it was sort of curling around itself and twisting because of my color work knitting. It took some, stopping and untwisting once in a while so that it wouldn't get so twisted and tight around the other strands that pulling on it would break it. So it was a little bit fiddly, but yeah, I found a way that worked well for me. When I needed to catch a float is when I would accidentally introduce a twist. But if I caught the next float by maneuvering the yarns around themselves the opposite way, then I was able to kind of undo that twist of the 2 strands. And so, yeah, it didn't take so much like stopping and untwisting the strands as often. And it is just that kind of middle section of the color work where you're doing that kind of fiddly part, and then the rest of it is all just stockinette in 1 color. The sleeves, I will have a bit of color work to do on those too, but yeah, it all really feels worth it to me for the finished object that I'm getting. It's honestly, I think it's probably less than 200 grams as it is right now. I just barely started the 2nd plate of the main color, and oh, it's going to be so light. It'll probably have a little pilling, but I know that just like brushing those pills off with my gleaner, the fabric's just going to stay so cohesive and nice, and it's going to feel really nice to wear this. So just a couple other tips I have for this sweater. The pattern is pretty nicely written with lots of tips for doing the color work. She suggests you go up 1, maybe even 2 needle sizes for the color work. Because it's 3 strands, you're even that much more likely to knit tightly in the color work. We color work knitters tend to have a tighter gauge This isn't always the case, but in general, color work tends to be tighter than single strand one color. And so going up in needle size is a good suggestion. And it's honestly, in my version of this, it feels that much more pronounced that the stitches are kind of bigger in the color work section, because I found that the white was somehow fluffier than the blue that I was working with. And then I wanted to show you the inside. This is something else that had me a little nervous. So I was nervous that the color work would get too tight, which turns out to not be the case. My gauge is okay. I also was nervous that, isn't that pretty even on the inside? I was also nervous that the 2 extra strands of unspun yarn on the back side here, it's creating more fluff in here than I really anticipated. And I was afraid that the size I had chosen was going to be too tight. I thought I'd chosen a size that was going to give me at least 4 inches of positive ease. But then with that added like fluff of fabric in there, it actually feels like you're losing some of your circumference with the extra fluff in there. It is so soft though. Oh my gosh, this unspun, it's just like fleecy. Oh, it's really nice. So going back to Kelsey's last segment where she had suggestions, one of her recommendations was to measure yourself more frequently than you think you need to, and that was definitely the case. I was not the size circumference around in my full bust as what I thought I was. So when I chose a size that I thought was going to give me 4 or 6 inches of positive ease, it was actually less than that. Then with the gauge being questionable here, I was worried about that too. Her other suggestion was to change in the pattern, like where you split for your sleeve, and to maybe rotate those stitches kind of more towards the back because of the amount of ease you need in the front compared to the back. It probably would have made me feel a little bit better if I had accommodated for the difference in the front and the back of my body with this. So I at this point, I put them on barber cords, all the stitches on barber cords, and I fully blocked it. I submersed it in water, and I was a little worried that the barber cords would get some water in them and turn gross, but it seems like they didn't. So that all worked out fine. I blocked it. It is looking much better than I thought. The gauge kind of evened itself out. I was kind of worried that my gauge would be loose up here and down here, and that this would all be really tight and it would look like constricted in the middle, but it's all evened itself out. So very happy with how that's looking. All right, I had more to say on that than I thought. I will just very briefly show you. I don't have much excitement in the shawl knitting land because I'm doing the maybe simpler, maybe more responsible. What's gonna end up feeling good is finishing a shawl that I already had on my needles. So it's been a while. I don't actually know if I've showed you this version or not. But last year for the Shawl Knit Along, I made a design of my own. This one here. And I wanted to make a second one because I sort of took notes, but sort of didn't. And I wanted to remember what I'd done. And then I wanted to use some other yarn. This is mostly hand spun. The main color here is hand spun. It's going to be a regular triangular shawl, and I'm going to do the border differently on this one. This is mosaic knitting, and once you get the hang of sort of how to make motifs with this sort of corrugated accent color, it's sort of like garter stitch, which ends up looking kind of cool texture wise. Once you get the hang of how to make motifs, then it's pretty easy to switch them around. So here's the main color. I carded this up. It's kind of a white wool and then some yellow and purple extra bits in there that I carded in. So anyway, this is, maybe I'll still have a chance to cast on the Papillon shawl that I talked about last time and find the mental space to do that, but I'll keep you posted for sure. All right, enjoy the rest of the Shopcast. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.
Thank you, Caitlin. I think that was a really interesting segment that you had there. Your sweater is gorgeous and the Manchalopus too.
Yeah.
Really, really lovely.
I was delighted. This is going to sound a little mean, but I was delighted to see that Caitlin had a moment where she was like, oh God, is this going to fit? Because her knitting always seems so like smooth and it just is always on track.
Oh,
I don't know.
No. Did you not see the last episode we had?
I don't know. It was just comforting to see somebody else has these moments of panic where you're like, wait, what?
I did all this and it's not going to fit.
And I can't imagine having knit all that 3-color and then having that moment. So I'm relieved for her. It looks gorgeous.
It does.
And I'm so glad it's going to fit.
And I'm impressed that she can do 3 colors on one hand. That blew me away.
Yeah, that's wild.
But whenever I meet thistlers in real life, often what they'll say is, I'm so glad you share your mistakes.
Yeah.
You know, because I think there is this idea out there that you know, if you're a knitter, you're supposed to be a perfect knitter and you never make mistakes and everything fits. And that couldn't be further from the truth. And I think her viewership does appreciate when...
That said, I was completely relieved that it's going to fit and it looks really wonderful. I bet it feels amazing.
Yes, it's so pretty. I love the design too. So, so we will continue to show our oopsies and worries and all of that kind of stuff in our knitting because
really
that is the lot of a knitter. At least here at the Woolly Thistle, I would say. Okay, so what else are we going to talk about, Maggie? We've got to talk about Tuku.
Yes.
And we do have a new launch coming, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah. So Tuku has released this little sock booklet.
Yeah.
It's really cute. Like, look at just the texture. And this includes, I want to say 3 patterns. Give me a minute here. I think it's
1, 2, 3.
I want to say 3 patterns.
At least 3.
At least 3 patterns. The product page will have more details, but I'm
that
pretty
looks
sure
like
it's 3
3
patterns. Oh yeah, see, because 3. I need more coffee. And
in their sock yarn.
In their sock yarn. I love this color. I think this one might be my favorite.
Yeah.
The Kaluna, I think is the name of it. H43.
But check this blue out.
Blue Hour. That's a
50.
good one.
Yeah. This is a
I
very
would love
sort
a
of
sweater.
It's very Scandinavian, this blue, isn't it? You know, you can imagine it with white.
Yeah.
Yeah, or gray.
That'd be great.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Or the
H49. I love this green.
Yeah.
They just have really wonderful colors.
I'll go with 39 Mana, which is sort of an oatmeal.
Yeah, and we showed 03 Ori.
And then H21, I love it. I think it's called Ripo, and that is for fox. You can
Is that what that means?
yeah, yeah.
43 Hot Pink.
I say it like
I
it's
love
true.
this hot pink.
I love that hot pink too, but I also love Syringa, which I hope I'm saying right, is 40. And it's this lovely lavender.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure. I say it like it's true. I think it's true that this one's fox.
And H23, which is what? Selja?
Yeah, Celia.
Just really lovely.
So these are all the sock yarn colors that we have, and we've got the book.
The booklet's available in the shop, and so you pick your colors to sock yarn, grab your book, and off you go.
And what I like is that this is 80%. Let's see.
Look at that. Just really, really lovely.
80% finish wool, so the fin wool, and 20% polyamide. Which is this the one with the biodegradable?
I believe so.
Yes.
I believe that they use a biodegradable.
Yes, it says polyamide biodegradable.
Yeah.
I don't know if I said that right, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
So
I know we've had that has confused a couple of customers in the past, and so we've found out more about it. And it has to have just the right conditions. It's not going to biodegrade
on your feet,
or in your closet, or even in your drawer. It has to have just the right conditions in order to biodegrade. So no concerns there.
Look at the 3 of those together. Oh,
yeah, I know.
I know. 3.
There was a 3-color one there. Look at that cable in that brown. It's just really, really lovely.
Yeah.
So
very nice.
A good value.
Yes.
And
okay.
There's that.
Okay. So, and then we got lovely lavender sachets, didn't we?
Oh, these smell so good. So I have them in a cute little bowl here.
Yeah.
But, you moved them around, and all of a sudden I got like a waft of
really nice.
lavender.
So why? Because you put these in with your sweaters, or put them in with your woolly socks, or in with your wool stash.
Or in your project bag.
Oh,
so that when you open your project bag, it just smells
you're in Provençal. Yeah. So we just got these in. They're a nice little add-on. if you
Yeah.
want to protect. And we still have the
Cedar Rauma cedar shavings.
Yeah, you love
those.
those.
Are great.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
do love
So we
those.
have that. And what else do we have?
And
Maggie?
then we have these are new and special from a vendor we've have a new relationship with. These are sock sets from Circus Tonic. And Circus Tonic is a dyer in Australia.
So we have gone way off around the world, but we couldn't resist, could we, Maggie?
And these she's dyed these sock sets just for us.
Yeah.
And they're really wonderful. They are a sport weight, 80% Australian SRS merino. And the SRS merino is a smooth rolling skin merino that is bred so that it specifically does not need to be mulesed.
Mules free.
Yes, mules free. And then 20% nylon to give a little strength. And whether you are a sock knitter and you want to knit some amazing cozy socks, or I think this would also be really great for like a shawl with like use the mini for like little stripes. Like they feel amazing.
They do. It's not often that we have any merino here, but we are making the exception because first of all, Circus Tonic is really nice to work with.
Right.
And they've dyed these up especially for us. And we have lots of different little, what do you call these, bundles?
Yeah.
We've got lots of different ones to show you. We love that it's coming with a mini skein as well, so that you can do a little bit of color work. And yeah, Australia.
These are hand wash only. These are non-super wash
Yes.
merino.
Yes.
Nylon.
Yes.
So
Remember this, Corinne?
Yes.
Okay.
that's why it says hand wash only on the label.
Yes, it does. That helps you out. So let's go through the colors.
This one is called Port Elliot, and it is a lovely like mauve purple.
That's
pink.
me.
Yeah.
This one is, I think, Robe, which is the blue and the gray. Well, sort of a beigey, oatmeal-y gray.
Yeah, and this one's called Mount Lofty. And Hannah at Circus Tonic, she sent us a bunch of photos that she used for inspiration for dyeing these. And they should be somewhere on the website. If you go to the Circus Tonic page, you can see them. Just amazing.
This is Streaky Bay, which I love. Love that coral. With the green.
I might say this wrong, and I'm sorry. Kuber Petty. I love this. I love that little peachy color.
Yeah. Oh, I like this. This is Melrose. And this one is got blips on it.
Yeah, little speckles.
Speckles, yeah. Lovely. Really, really pretty.
This one's called Mari.
Love it.
It's really wonderful.
Ooh. Encounter Bay. Might be encountering this in your cart soon.
Yes. Kangaroo Island.
Oh.
I love this one.
Yes.
Very blue.
And then lastly, Udnadata.
Sure.
I love
That's
it.
the best we can do is Udnadata.
Udnadata. Yeah, it's pretty.
These are really wonderful. These are going to be available, is it this Friday?
Yes,
I think
today.
it is today at noon. These are limited.
The hand dyed.
These are limited, so if you're looking to get one of these, set your alarm for noon and don't be late.
Yep. We'll have them ready to go for you.
This is our first offering of Circus Tonic. She's been delightful to work with.
Yeah.
An absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
And these skeins feel amazing.
Yes, they do. So, if these do well, we'll consider next steps in bringing them back again. But I think they will do well because, they're just, first of all, so soft.
Yeah. I was watching, Gudrun Johnston has a podcast, and I was watching her this weekend. And she was talking about some possum yarn that she got when she was in New Zealand, and it made me think of Hannah at Circus Tonic.
Yeah, which this is not possum.
This is not possum,
but
she does have a different possum.
She does
yarn,
have
but
possum.
This is just the
we brought
SRS.
in merino, and honestly, to feel it does round out our offerings here. It's not that we shouldn't have merino.
No, I think it's all good.
It's all good. It's all good. Yeah,
It is.
Yeah, so
I think the great thing is that you can get both, and you can appreciate both the toothiness and like the tuku sock wool, which definitely has a much toothier, hardier feel, and also like they're both good, right? Like I love tuku sock yarn, and this is quite delicious. This would not be a bad thing.
If you're watching this at all before midday on Friday and you're interested in this, go ahead and pause and rush over to the shop. But if you're on our newsletter list, you will get a link in that email on Friday morning too. So make sure you're on our email list. That's the best way to hear from us up to the minute. So that's very exciting. I hope that does well and that you love that. Okay, so have we done all our segments?
I think we, other than Rachel, yep.
And we have not announced the winner of another prize.
Yes, all
So
right.
let's do
let's
that.
do that. Our second winner today of a $25 gift card is at CB Small 19, and CB Small says, "Thank you once again for all the valuable tips. I am inspired to finish up my whips over the next couple of months. Thank you, Emma. Kelsey's tip on sleeve placement makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Keep on knitting."
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here. If you can email us at info@thewoollythistle.com, put prize winner in all caps, we will get you your gift card.
Yes, and if you'd like to be in the running yourself next time, all you need to do is leave us a comment below, give us a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel. Hooray, I did it. And you will be picked at random, or we'll pick from a winner from random. See, now I'm screwing up.
You're so proud of yourself.
You know the drill. Just do all that, and then we will pick a winner next time from everyone who leaves a comment. So yeah, so we've got a lovely March review from Rachel up there on Fair Isle. She did a little bit of traveling as well this month, and spring is starting to show signs of happening, which is lovely. So we will leave you to go and finish off with Rachel, and we will talk to you soon. Please do subscribe to our newsletter if you want to know the latest of what's happening. I'll keep you informed. And I think, Maggie, all that's left to say is if you go out,
take your knitting.
Bye.
Hello, Woolly Thistlers. It's Rachel from Barkland Croft here in Fair Isle. I hope you're all keeping well and that spring is starting to arrive wherever you are. The first day of March almost saw some daffodils out here in the Isle, but the weather was very much in like a lion, and then we had a week of lamb-like weather mid-March, and then March went out like a lion again with some bad weather. Well, this is the sight that usually greets me in the morning. We've got Ginge waiting for his breakfast. And we've got Lillian, Ginger Tom, Sylvia, and that's Sparky just down there. They all like to lie in wait for me. And poor old Ginge, he's been turfed out of his bed because the hens have decided it makes rather a nice nest box for them. So in their never-ending quest for the perfect nest box, they've moved from a cardboard box in the garage to Ginger's bed, basically. But it's obviously a good nest box for them because they're producing lovely eggs for me every day. The second week of March brought a little lull in the weather, and we got a very calm day with our first, I think, fog of the season so far. So it was a little bit eerie looking, but very pretty. The cats have definitely been enjoying their new friend. Ruffalo's still not too sure, but Scampy is quite attached to him. He's not got a name yet, and I do still need to embroider him a face on, but we'll get to that at some point. The 10th of March brought our first frog spawn in the pond. That's always a good sight to see. And then we got some real wintry weather coming back in again. It hasn't really picked it up on this video, but we actually did get a little bit of snow, although not enough to settle, and definitely a wintry sky there. However, by the 14th of March, the weather had improved enough that I was able to fly out for the weekend to Shetland to take part in the textiles event organised by Shetland Textiles Network and give my speech. And it's always a lovely sight, leaving the aisle and flying over it and seeing the various sights from the air. And you can just see in the bottom left hand corner, that's the new bird observatory, which hopefully will be open for business, I think, in May this year. So fingers crossed. That's the pier and the beach. And then on the other side, if I zoom in, hopefully you can see that's Northlight, the lighthouse, and the old foghorn right on the edge of the cliff. By the time we reached Shetland, the weather had closed in a bit and it became a bit overcast and grey. But it was lovely to see the Statsraad in the harbour. This is a Norwegian ship that was built in 1914 as a training ship, but now offers sailing holidays, and she's a frequent visitor to Shetland. The Textiles and the Environment event on the Saturday afternoon was really super, and it was so nice finally to be able to meet people in person that I've only ever really known on social media. Aisling Taverner started by giving a really interesting talk on the Shetland peatland restoration project. Oliver Henry gave a fascinating presentation about his 60 years working with wool at Jameson and Smith, and also talked us through the process of grading the wool. Donna Smith gave a super talk about how she's taken on the running of the family croft and how she's grown her wool business and got into natural dyeing as well. And it was so interesting to hear Elizabeth Johnston talk about how she'd taken up spinning and how she's now the only professional hand spinner in Shetland. On the Sunday morning before church, I enjoyed a lovely walk around the Jubilee Flower Park in Lerwick. It's somewhere I always really enjoy visiting, and it was so cheery to see all these beautiful colours of the flowers blooming, and even some trees in blossom as well. And when I got back home to Fair Isle, it was time to fence off the vegetable patch again and start preparations for this year's growing season. You can see there's a couple of green bits in my strawberry pots there. That's Lillian helping. The mint's already doing very well. And the rhubarb as well, with no thanks to me whatsoever, as I basically forgot about it over winter. But Lillian does love the camera, so here she is saying hello. The next 5 days we had absolutely wonderful weather. The daffodils all started blooming, the sheep were enjoying lying outside rather than being inside, and the spring weather of course kicked off silly season for the sheep, chasing each other around and generally having a great time. There was great fun and games when Daisy decided to get her head stuck in the ring feeder. This one's always been damaged since the boat crew dropped it off the boat when it was delivered, and so that end rail there you can maybe see is a bit nudged inwards, making it a bit narrower. Anyway, long story short, I ended up using a car jack to bend the metal enough so that Daisy could get her head out. And thankfully she's a very friendly and calm sheep, so she wasn't bothered at all, and we got there in the end. Never a dull moment. On the 29th of March there was a partial solar eclipse, and because it was so overcast I didn't think I'd see anything. But if you zoom in really close, you can just see the sun with a bit of a bite taken out of it. Sparky has definitely been enjoying the sunshine, but then decided he liked my bobble hat. and Miss Violet has been helping me with yet more fencing. Here you can see this band of little naughty sheep. They're not where they're meant to be. That's next door's field. And Minnie Milk has been the very naughty ringleader and has led them a merry dance through a hole in the fence. So we're just in the middle of getting them back and patching that up. Sadly, a lot of the beautiful daffodils got blown down and their stems cut with the bad weather, but on a positive note, it's been lovely to collect them and bring them indoors and enjoy them in the window there. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this little look at what's been happening in Fair Isle, and I'll see you again next month. Bye bye.